Jeg hører lang vei Kristoffer sånn.
Det grusomt tidlig. Hey! Hey! Guess where we're at?
Los Angeles!
Yeah!
Hva føler du nå?
Salig. Kjempeglad.
Slående likhet.
Skal gi deg slående likhet, deg.
So we'll take a walk over. We're going to do the ADR session first. And prepare your questions in your head as we're walking over. Great guys, really knowledgeable about what they do and everything that comes in and out of the studio. And then we'll take a walk over to the set of Blackish. Have you seen it yet? Then from there we can take a walk over to MasterChef's set, which will pass on the way. It's kind of fun. And then we'll take a walk over to Archives and check out some of the Disney Studio archives. And then we can grab lunch and that'll conclude our day. All right.
Yes. Cool.
Sounds awesome. Cool beans. All right.
We just did a movie called Tomorrowland with Clooney.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one.
Come on, Madeline. Tron. Saving Private Ryan. Titanic. Indiana Jones.
When you did like Indiana Jones versus Saving Private Ryan, which is two very different sort of universes, do you approach it any differently when it's...
In reality, those two are kind of similar because they're both very much rooted in reality. So Private Ryan was gritty and it was wartime, and Indiana Jones, even though it's kind of fantasy, they're still on this earth. Avatar is different because you're on Pandora. Tron, you're in the middle of a computer game. Those are very, very different things. So you approach those really differently. The sci-fi stuff's got a very different feel to it than anything that's set in the real world. What does the inside of a computer sound like? You get to make that up. Right? Avatar, Pandora. What does iridescent moss sound like when you walk in? The first Jurassic Park. What does a T-Rex sound like? You only know because Gary Rydstrom told you what T-Rex sounds like, and so now that's what everyone thinks it sounds like because they made that first one set the precedent for everything else. So you have to think how you want the sound to help you tell your story. I mean, yes, just because it's in front of you. I mean, yes, see a chicken, hear a chicken, but you also can have the sound follow your path. And There Will Be Blood. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
So the first opening shot, it goes on forever. It's one shot, but he tells you where to look with sound. He points out where he wants your focus to go, and it's actually really, really well done. I mean, just everything all the time. You're like, okay, kind of like if you have too much music, it stops being effective. So if you have to guide what you want your audience, how to tell the story.
Private Ryan and how they came up with the beginning, how they went underneath the water, they didn't hear the bullets, and then they'd come up and they'd hear the bullets?
So underwater, it's safe. So even though you can't breathe, so it's safe. So they totally change. You don't hear anything. So that was the whole up and down. Again, Gary Rydstrom, genius. He made the difference between being under the water and above the water. So you watch that opening scene. I mean, yeah, you kind of just chaos. Or when he loses his hearing, when he gets blown up, it becomes sort of, you get the tinnitus tone. Basically, the sound is helping tell the story of what's happening to these individual people.
When we did Avatar, or when we do all of David Fincher's films, we cut the whole scene. We record, we cut, we sync up. David gives us a few minutes to fine-tune the ADR. We play it all back from the top of the scene to the end of the scene. Even if David says, I don't like that line where she says, hey, we have a better hey. Jeanette goes, yeah, I think take 65, we had a better hey. We bring in take 65, he goes, all right, take it back to the top. We play the whole scene back with the new hey. We have music and effects that are supplied to us by editorial, so it's like playing back the whole thing in a mini mix or a mini dub. And that's the way it has been for the last maybe 5 or 6 years now. Avatar, Sam, the star of the movie, he didn't like to loop to picture. He liked to hear the production track, the original production, where it was, I'm coming after you. I would sample the, hey, I'm coming after you from the original production. And then once we got going, I would just play it out in his headphones or out to the stage. We hear it, say it, hear it, say it. And we just keep doing that 65, maybe 100 times.
Wow.
And we cut in the best one. James Cameron would go, give me the 100th one, or give me the 20th. Or, I like the first one he did. And so we would put that one.
James Cameron sit and listen and take notes, so he'll sit
Yeah,
and go, I
he's
like
out there
that
at the
one, I
table.
didn't like that one.
He sits out there with Gwen. Gwen happened to do that show with him, and he's out there with Gwen, and he goes, give me the 75th one. She goes, okay, and then this, the gal who was working with me, she goes, I'm going to give him the 76th one. 75th one wasn't any good. Okay, whatever. Just James, we're going to give him this. Just cut something, man. And so we cut. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's good. Or do we have a better one? Yes, we have a better one. He goes, yeah, that one's better. Okay, let's play the whole thing back. So, and it was really great. It was actually great to work with Jim on that because he liked the way we were working. He can be most filmmakers. They can be a little, on edge, but he loves his actors.
We have 44 acres. That's the whole studio lot. It's both the corporate headquarters, and also we have 7 stages on those 44 acres. And of the 7 stages, at any one time, they could be doing any mixture of television work, feature film work, commercial work, Disney work, ABC work, Marvel, or a complete outside group.
1 hour is how they shoot, 8 days, and maybe they're 4 days out, 4 days in, things like that. This show maybe goes out like a half a day to 1 day per episode. They do 1 episode in 5 days, so it's definitely shorter. But they run a lot faster. It's just it's just the 26 pages or whatever it is ends up being for the half hour.
Yeah.
So they do run a little
So
faster.
they have 1 more day though, because if you're doing 8 hours for 1 hour and then you do 5 days for half an hour, then you have more time.
Yeah, exactly.
So we pass it on, and each color gets a number. And they would draw it in.
Akkurat da sånn der Dag stod og snakket bare Det er helt sykt at vi får lov til å snakke
Så,
med
hva syns du om valget av kompanjong på turen når du tenker tilbake på denne situasjonen?
Ja, altså bortsett fra kanskje litt sånn lav sosial kompetanse, så er det fint så er det fint.
Det er sånn at alle er helt sånn wow, sitter og spiser nøtter.
Si noe smart nå.
Smart. Kvadrat og I går så var vi på Disney Studios her i LA, og det var mildt sagt episk, fantastisk, super, mega awesomeness.
Ord kommer litt til knappe.
Ja,
Ord kommer litt til knappe. Eller så er det bare litt tidlig.
Jeg vil heller ikke si at ord er nok for å beskrive det awesomeness av alt det kule vi får oppleve der, og møte alle de fantastiske folka som har laget masse fete filmer som vi alle har sett og likt og sånn. Og i tillegg få lov til å spørre de masse kule spørsmål som de var utrolig flinke til å svare på.
Jeg holdt på å sprekke når du sitter og diskuterer lyd med en fyr som har vunnet 4 Oscar, og så spør jeg litt om mikrofonen, og han er bare enig, ja, men det har du helt rett i, bare sånn, oh my god, og så er det litt gøy å riste hendene på folk som har laget Rocketeer, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, det var sånn, oh my god.
Jeg så på IMDb en eller annen dock, han har 356 filmer.
Everybody has an objective. Let's say in the middle of the scene, the bartender comes in. He has one line. He says, "What can I get you?" He goes, "I'll have a Tom Collins." That bartender with that line has an objective in that scene, which is to make money, to do his job. So one of the main things that you have to answer with your actors is, what is their objective in the scene? So what is your objective in the scene?
To get him to make this phone call.
That's right, because you want to alert those guys that this raid is about to happen. You want to give him a moment alone here at the beginning, right? So what you want to do is frame for that. So right now you've got a huge amount of, so you loosen this up, and just you want to balance the frame. Okay, then let's just see your entrance, Simon. Now we feel him entering, and we adjust.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fitzgerald.
That's it. That's your movement. Yeah. And the idea is to always keep the frame balanced. Always keep the frame balanced.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fitzgerald.
You might attorney?
Do you think we've made any phone calls or statements that I need to be aware of?
Okay,
Yes.
sit rep.
Vi var nettopp på Universal Studios.
Nei, Paramount.
Paramount.
Vi er der fortsatt.
Vi er der
Vi
nå.
er i Paramount
Vi har nettopp
Studios.
vært på tour, og det var helt awesome.
Helt fantastisk.
Helt
Så
fantastisk.
mye bedre enn i går.
Det var nesten oppe der med Disney.
Ja, faktisk.
Det med Disney var utrolig lærerikt og liksom kult og sånn. Det her var mer sånn gøy, vil jeg si. Liksom. Det var liksom fett.
Men det var jo en dame som faktisk
Som
visste
var
ting om film.
engasjert, og som svarte på spørsmålene våre,
Ja.
og som var morsom og koselig, og liksom, hun klarte liksom å relatere seg til hva vi er, liksom, hun adapterte, følte jeg, til at vi ikke er som vanlige turister.
Ja.
Det var helt fantastisk. Vi fikk se liksom... Ja.
Ja. Vi var mye mer involvert i, og det var ikke bare å se på den bygningen her ble noen lagd, men og når vi var nede og så der de faktisk var og filmet.
Ja.
Altså, de sto faktisk og lagde film.
Og ikke sant?
Åh, det var kult.
Ja.
Og vi fikk se ekte props.
Vi fikk ta på propsene. I touched something that was interstellar.
Og i stedet for bare å vise en bygning, så var det her kan vi fylle med vann, og da ser det sånn ut. Her vise bilder. Det var mer hvordan ting faktisk ble laget. Det var helt annet.
Really, really, really cool.
I like that.
Ja, det er vi.
Hollywood deck!
Oh yeah! Nå er vi United som en gruppe, og som statene også er United.
Det går i mål. Vi har tatt United Taxi.
Vi har tatt United Taxis. Altså, i dag er vi definitivt veldig United som en gruppe og som en menneskehet. Nå har jo noen av oss vært på talkshow, og noen andre av oss har vel...
Klippet dere!
Ja, så det har vært gøy. Og nå er vi her. Går nedover gater og ja, koser oss.
Selv om talkshowet.
Det var dritgøy, vittig. En pupp falt ut. Shit var real. Ray Romano vet at vi eksisterer.
Ja.
Vi er fra Norge. Vet at vi er fra Norge. Du går i en kid.
Jeg holder på å krasje med ting.
Så kjente folk jeg ikke vet om meg, så kjente folk jeg vet om meg. Innstappen!
Vi burde kanskje egentlig forklare til filmen hvorfor vi går rundt og sier innstappen, men det kommer vi ikke til å gjøre.
Det er en inside joke, akkurat som puppen til gode dama.
Nei, for den var outside. Ærlig talt.
Det var outside.
Det var vanskelig å komprimere alle de fantastiske tingene vi har opplevd i en setning.
Så det er hele turen?
Ja.
Fantastisk!
Det er noen som slenger på solbomber. Fy, flate, jeg har hatt en kul tur.
Jeg er helt enig. Det har vært en ekstremt fantastisk tur.
Denne turen har overgått alle forventninger.
Awesome. OK pluss.
How about fuck you?
Hvis dere skal oppsummere vår Hollywood-studietur med ett ord, hvilket ord vil du da ha valgt?
Innstappen.
Wow.